Welcome back, everybody, to Ein Sof Learning. This week's Torah portion is Vayelech. The word Vayelech literally means, and he went. It comes from the root word holech, which literally means to walk or to go. In this week's Parsha, Moses walks to Bnei Israel with a final mission. And we see here that this is really just days before Moses passes away. So there's a very strong message in that very fact that this is just a few days before Moses passes away, that even at the very end of his life, Moses is still moving forward and thinking about the future of the people of Israel. Just days before passing away, he wasn't thinking about anything besides what are the final moments, final message that I can give to the children of Israel in my final moments. And hidden within these verses are very deep spiritual truths, really, which I want to talk about one of them, which is specifically regarding how Moses continues to live on through the generations, even after he passes away. The spirit of Moses is alive. In fact, it is even more alive after he passed away. Now that he's passed away, the energy of Moses is even more alive within this world. It sounds like a contradiction, because we think that when righteous people pass away, that signifies a loss, a absence of light, because the tzaddik represents light, so when he dies, he's no longer in this world, therefore the world becomes a little bit darker. Chassidut and Kabbalah explain just the opposite, that when a righteous person passes away, it causes more goodness, more light, and more blessing because of the memory that he leaves behind. The memory that he leaves behind in humanity, in the generations, lives on and it continues to live on throughout the generations. So let's talk today about the power of the soul of Moses. Moshe himshich shefa mihadat el kol Israel. The topic of today's class is how Moses draws down the energy of da'at to the people of Israel. All of Israel receives their sustenance from the energy that Moses draws down, specifically from the Sephirah of Da'at. And we're going to learn what that means. We're in the book Machsop Alavan by Rabbi Yaakov Hanokaee, Parashat Vayelech. Hineh hada'at hu bakav ha'emtzai. When we look at the 10 Sephirot, we know that there are 10 powers to the soul, there are 10 levels of creation, there are 10 building blocks of reality. In Hebrew, we call them Sephirot. Sephirot are digits. You could call them values, like the number system from 0 to 9. You've got 10 different digits. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 0 through 9 are the 10 building blocks of all calculations, of all mathematics, of all reality. Everything in reality can be broken up into these 10 fundamental categories of 10 Sephirot. So it says here, Hineh da'at hu bekav ha'emtzai. The Sephirah of Da'at is located in the central column. We've talked about this before, that the Jewish people are really tasked with connecting to the central column. The central column represents the middle path. It's not the right, it's not the left, rather it's the balance in between, what we call the central column, or the kav ha'emtzai in Hebrew. The central column contains multiple Sephirot. If you look at it, you'll see Tachtav haTiferet v'Tachtav hayesod. Below the Sephirah of Da'at, you have the Sephirah of Tiferet, and below Tiferet, you have the Sephirah of Yesod. V'Siman Dati. When you take the initials of these three dimensions, Da'at, Tiferet, and Yesod, you get Dati. Dati literally means religious or devout, but if you take a closer look, you'll see that that's really an abbreviation for Da'at, Tiferet, and Yesod, which are the three Sephirot that make up the central column of the 10 Sephirot. Because the central column is the pathway that Am Yisrael, the people of Israel, are tasked with connecting to. They are not to connect to the right column. They are not to connect through the left column. Rather, the role and the mission of the children of Israel is to connect Yashar El, straight to God, which is really the same words that you find in the word Yisrael. The word Yisrael can be broken up into words Yashar El, straight to God, representing their mission and their task with connecting to the central column, which takes them straight to God, connects them straight in a central line, a vertical line, straight to God. That's what the central column does. It connects you to God. Now, it says here that Ma'achar sheMoshe Rabbeinu alav hashalom hu bechinat hadat. In the wisdom of Kabbalah, Moses represents the Sefirah of Da'at. Moshe Rabbeinu actually represents the Sefirah of Da'at. So when we're talking about how Moses draws down the energy of Da'at for all of Israel, really it's because his own soul is rooted in the dimension of Da'at. So, Achshav sheratza lehistalek min haolam, and now that it comes to the time that Moses is about to die, he's about to pass away, which means that he would withdraw from this world. Mirov ahavato shehu ohev et Hashem veohev et amo Yisrael ratza b'ayin tova v'lev tov lahashpia mibirchotav v'tova lahem. His final desire and his deepest wish is to bless the children of Israel with goodness, with blessing, with shefa, and with goodness. And the reason for this is because he is inclusive of all of the souls of Israel. So by him drawing down energy, it naturally and automatically is received by every Jew. Every member of children of Israel benefits from the energy that Moses himself draws down, because he is inclusive of all of the souls of Israel. So if I have a soul from Israel, or you have a soul from Israel, you are, by virtue of your soul, you are receiving the energy, a portion of the energy that Moses himself draws down from above. There is within you a neshama, a soul, and that neshama is actually included within Moshe. Just to give you an idea of how the souls are intertwined. The soul of Moses is the macrocosm, while the individual souls of each of the members of Israel are the microcosms. They are the prat, while Moses is the klal. The whole versus the part. והשש קצוות מכללם התפארת היסוד שהם בקו האמצעי כנגד הדעת. הם 60 ריבו שהם כנגד 60 קצוות כנודע. So, now he's explaining. The soul of Moses is rooted in the Sefirah of Da'at. We understand that. But where do the souls of the Israelites come from? Yes, they come from Moses. They come from Da'at. But nevertheless, there are 600,000 souls of Israel. So what Sefirot are responsible for those 600,000 souls? Because the Sefirah of Da'at represents the collective of those 600,000 souls. That's what the dimension of Da'at represents. Moses, the person of Moses, is the collective of all of the 600,000 souls of Israel. So which dimensions, which Sefirot correspond to those 600,000? It's not Da'at, because Da'at represents the collective. Which Sefirot are responsible for representing those 600,000 individual souls? The following 6 Sefirot: Chesed, Gevura, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, and Yesod. Each one of which is inclusive of 100,000 neshamot. So each of the 600,000 souls are rooted in one of these dimensions. Whether within Chesed, within Gvura, within Tiferet, within Netzach, within Hod, within Yesod. Any one of these 6 Sefirot, from Chesed to Yesod, contain 100,000 neshamot. These 6 Sefirot, from Chesed to Yesod, they are called Shesh Ketzavot, the 6 extremities, the 6 directions. Up, down, left, right, front, back. Or, to make it more simple, north, south, east, west, up, down. So these are the 6 directions, the 6 ketzavot, each one of which represent 100,000 souls from Israel. Now it says, השש קצוות מכללם התפארת והיסוד שהם בקו האמצעי כנגד הדעת. And these 6 sefirot, in general, are categorized by 2 sefirot, Tiferet and Yesod, which are the kav emsa'i keneged hadat. The most important of these 6 are the 2 that are located in the central column, which corresponds to Tiferet and Yesod. Tiferet and Yesod, which are directly under Da'at. If you look at the central column, you'll see that Da'at is located in the central column. Below Da'at you have Tiferet, below Tiferet you have Yesod. So the Tiferet and the Yesod, they are located in the central column. Ikar kol hashesh katzavot v'nishmatam v'chiyutam talui b'da'at. The majority of all 600,000 souls depend on Da'at more than any other Sefirah. The dimension, the Sefirah that they depend on more than any other is the Sefirah of Da'at. It says here, Kama omar la'ayl ki hadad hu shoresh v'nishmat havav katzavot. Because the Sefirah of Da'at is the shoresh and the neshama of all 6 katzavot, being chesed, gevura, tiferet, netzach, hod, yesod. So the Sefirah of Da'at represents the neshama, the shoresh, the collective of all 6 Sefirot located below, from chesed to yesod. Mishum hachi ratza levarech et Yisrael be'ayin tova. And it is for this reason that Moses had the desire to bless the children of Israel with a good eye. כדי שהדעת שכנגדו ישפיע בשש קצוות שכנגדם ותהי ברכתם שלמה. So that way, the da'at, which corresponds to his own soul, because we know Moses corresponds to da'at, will be able to give energy to the 6 katzavot, chesed, gevura, tiferet, netzach, hod, yesod, שכנגדם ותהי ברכתם שלמה, which corresponds to the 600,000 souls, so therefore he will give them a complete blessing. So Moses has this desire within him, naturally, to bless the children of Israel because they are connected to his very soul. They are included within his soul. Moses' soul is inclusive of all of the 600,000. So he has a natural desire, a natural ratzon lahashbia, a desire to give, desire to bless and influence them in a positive way, with a positive light, with a good eye, with a good intentions. And Vayelech Moshe. And that's why the verse starts out by saying Vayelech. The name of the Parashat is Vayelech. What does it mean? And he went, and he walked. Im shlosh otiot Moshe. Gimatria dat tiferet yesod. When you take the Gematria of Vayelech Moshe, which means and Moses went, plus the 3 letters of the name Moshe, it gets you the number 414, which is the same Gematria as Dati. Dalid Taf Yud, the Roshei Tevot of those 3 Sefirot in the central column, Dat, Tiferet, and Yesod. So Vayelech Moshe, plus 3, corresponding to the 3 letters of Moses' name, gets you the same numerical value as the initials for those 3 Sefirot in the central column, called Dat, Tiferet, and Yesod. Dalid is 4, Tiferet is Taf is 400, and Yud is 10. Altogether, you get 414. Same Gematria as Vayelech Moshe plus 3. Now, what's the meaning here? You're giving me a lot of mathematics and a lot of theoretical numerology. What is the point? What's the message that Rabbi Yaakov Hanokaee is trying to tell us by hinting to us these numerical values? Dehatiferet nichlelu bo hachesed v'hagvura. Within Tiferet, you have included the Sefirah of Chesed and Gevura. Because Tiferet is in the central column, right in between Chesed and Gevura. When you look at where Tiferet is located, you have first Chesed on the right column, then Gevura on the left column, and in the central column, right below both, in the middle between both, you have the dimension of Tiferet. Tiferet represents the Kolel, the union, the collection of Chesed and Gevura. That's why it's in the middle between Chesed and Gevura. It's like the child that becomes produced by the union of Chesed and Gevura. The same way that a child is the kolel of the mother and the father, the child includes within them their own self parts from the father and parts from the mother. So too, the Sfira of Tiferet is a product of the union of Chesed and Gevura. Therefore, it includes within its own self parts of Chesed and parts of Tiferet. And Yesod nichlalim bo hanetzach v'hahod. And when we look at the Sefirah of Yesod, we see that it is actually located in the middle between Netzach and Hod. And therefore, it is the kolel of Netzach and Hod. Harei shesh katzavot shehada'at mashpia behem. And therefore, I have now demonstrated to you how all 600,000 souls, all 6 Ketzavot, Chesed, Gevura, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, are really included within these two called Tiferet and Yesod. Because Tiferet is the kolel of Chesed and Gevura, and Yesod is the kolel of Netzach and Hod, and therefore all 6 Sefirot are included within these two called Tiferet and Yesod, which are in the central column located right beneath the Sefirah of Da'at. So, in reality, the entirety of all 600,000 souls are included within Tiferet and Yesod. Mishum hachi amar Vayelech v'shon holecha. And for this reason that it says Vayelech Moshe, that Moses walked. The word Vayelech comes from the root word holech, which means to walk. What's the secret here? Shehamashachat hashefa, hamshachat hashefa, the extension of this energy from above to below is similarly leshon holacha. It's considered like walking, considered like going. When the light is flowing from above to below, that flow from above to below is considered like halicha. It's considered like walking. So when it says Vayelech Moshe, that Moses walked, or that Moses went, this is referring to the energy of Da'at, because Moses is Da'at. So what does it mean Moses went? It means Da'at went. Da'at spread its energy. It flows from above to below to reach Tiferet and Yesod, which are the two Sfirot within the central column that nourish all 600,000 Neshamot. Shehashefa holech v'nimshach milamala lamata. Because the Shefa that's coming from Da'at, that Shefa that's coming from Moses, it walks, it flows, it goes from above to below. V'zehu Vayelech Moshe. That's why it says that Moses went. Shehamshich v'holich hashefa min had'at shehu bechinato. It means that he extended energy from his Sefirah of Da'at, from the Sefirah of Da'at, which corresponds to Moses, El Kol Yisrael, to the entirety of Israel. Shehem shesh ketzavot shehem bechinat Kol Yisrael, which corresponds to the 6 bechinot of Chesed, Gevura, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, because those are all of the souls of Israel. All of the souls of Israel are included in those 6 Sefirot. Therefore, when it says El Kol Yisrael, that he's walking towards the entirety of Israel, he went to the entirety of Israel. What does it mean? Vayelech Moshe El Kol Yisrael, meaning that he extended his energy to the entirety of Israel, to all 6 Sefirot, all 600,000 souls contained within those 6 Sefirot. Uvazeh nit barchu Kol Yisrael, and through doing this, he has blessed the entirety of Israel. So now the question becomes, why is this relevant? Why do I need to know this? We're talking about such Kabbalistic and spiritual and high, lofty subjects. Okay, why not just say it in a simple language? Why do you have to teach it in such a complicated way? And the answer is because there is an order to creation. There is a system. There is a pattern. And the Torah is helping us slowly to become more aware and sensitive to that pattern. And a person who is able to see this blueprint of the 6 Sefirot and how they are nourished by the Sefirah of Da'at, and Moses represents Sefirah of Da'at, while the 600,000 souls of Israel are the 6 Sefirot, you start to build in your mind a picture, an understanding of the way that these topics are all connected and how our souls are intertwined with Moses. Because the real reason this is relevant is because you are Israel. You are that entity that is spoken about in this week's Parsha, that it says Moses walked to Israel, to all of Israel. You are a microcosm of the universe. Therefore, if Israel exists outside, then that means that there is a spark of Israel that exists within you. So it's relevant not on a general scale, but rather on an individual level. Each person represents Israel in their own right. And within you exists your own Da'at and your own 6 Sefirot. That's why this is relevant. Not because it's a fact. It's not relevant just because it's true. It needs to be applied and understood in the context of our lives, in the context of our specific situation. So within each person exists a spark of Moses. That's their inner Sefirah of Da'at. Then there's 6 Sefirot of Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, representing your arms, your torso, and your legs, and your sexual organ. Those 6 extremities, your right arm, left arm, torso, right leg, left leg, and your Brit, that's 6, corresponding to Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, and Yesod. Those 6 parts of your body receive their nourishment from the Sefirah of Da'at. You can heal yourself. You think that this is talking about just spiritual stuff. No, this is talking about how to bring Shefa, spiritual divine flow, from the spiritual world down into the physical world. You can manifest that light and bring it into practical use within your own physical body. Believe it or not, a person can heal oneself by learning how to connect to this dimension of Da'at that exists within them, corresponding to their Neshama. But sometimes our 6 Sefirot, our extremities, when we use them for sin, and we use our body, and we don't protect the sanctity of our Brit, and we don't use our feet to walk to the right places, and we don't use our hands to do the right things, etc. Whenever we use our body parts, specifically these 6 body parts, for the wrong reason, they go dry. They become lifeless. They may still function. They may even be physically fit, but they're not spiritually healthy. And they get used for the wrong reasons. For that reason, they collapse into sadness. They collapse into laziness. You're not able to wrap tefillin in the morning because your hand is not used to that habit. It's used to using your hand. You're used to using your hand for the wrong reasons. And so when it comes to using for the right reasons, you become weak in that regard. You become slower in that regard, less inclined to use your body parts for the right reason. And therefore, the only way to actually stay alive is when they get energy from Da'at. Truth be told, that because a person sins, because a person makes mistake, it's enough to cut them off from the flow of the light. But if not for the Sefirah of Da'at to enliven this body, despite our sins, you would quite literally die. So it's because of the neshama, it's because of the soul, the neshama, corresponding to Da'at, which corresponds to Moshe Rabbeinu, which corresponds to your own true self. Your true self has compassion on this lowly body, even though it makes mistakes, even though it continues to use the body parts for the wrong reason. Still, Hashem has mercy and compassion on you. He still keeps you alive, despite your sins, despite your mistakes, because He needs you to become transformed. He needs you to become corrected. The tikkun of the olam depends on you establishing your own tikkun. The world cannot become corrected if one person is left behind. So therefore, your tikkun is necessary in the cosmic plan. Your soul reaching completion, revealing your potential into the actual, is a necessary component of God's plan. No man left behind. No woman left behind either. So, it is specifically because of God's plan that even because we sin, so therefore He set up a system that we can still stay alive and have a chance to finish our mission despite our mistakes that we make, because of the Sefirah of Da'at, because of that aspect of Moses that continues to live on in every generation. Despite the fact that he's no longer physically with us, he is spiritually more alive than ever before. That's why it was after he passed away that we entered the land of Israel. It was in his merit that we even inherited the land of Israel. Really, it was in the merit of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But it was in the merit of Moses taking us out from Egypt and leading us across the wilderness for 40 years and preparing us throughout the entire time that we truly were successful and victorious in conquering the land of Canaan and transforming it into the land of Israel. So the way he acted in this week's Parsha is a model for each and every single one of us. That when you feel like you are walking away or losing something, you can still choose to channel your awareness into your inner qualities. That is your inner awareness, is your true self, is your consciousness. You choose how to direct and focus your awareness, where to focus your mind, where to concentrate your attention. That is in your free will, and that's how you bless your life and the lives around you. By directing the flow of your awareness to the right places, to bless people, to help people, to spread light, to do mitzvot, to study Torah, to empower others, to give words of kindness, to give charity, etc. To do good deeds with your physical limbs and your physical organs. Because a person is not able to reach their ruach and their neshama until they have first fixed their actions. So therefore, this physical body must become correct first in order for us to even be able to receive the influence from our ruach and our neshama, which are the aspects of our soul that come from the side of holiness. But the Yetzer Hara doesn't want you to do this. The Yetzer Hara does not want you to become successful in this effort. Therefore, he convinces you, wrongfully so and falsely so, that you cannot attain holiness. But that's not true. You are holiness, and you can attain it, you can reveal it within your body, if only a person learns how to connect to this da'at, how to connect to the awareness, through doing mitzvot, through using their limbs and organs for the right reasons. When your limbs and organs, more specifically your hands, your arms, your torso, your legs, your brit, that area from the neck to your private parts, that territory, the trunk of the body, that's the primary aspect. You've got to be careful how you use your body. All the way to the bottom of your feet actually. The way you walk, that's included in Netzach and Hod. And Yesod, of course, matters as well. Yesod is the foundation. Yesod is the foundation. That means that it's the most important. If the Yesod, the sexual organ of a person, is not pure, is not holy, then the entire person is defiled. The entire person lacks light. Until such a time when he does teshuvah and returns back to the proper path, in which case the energy of that continues to flow once again in a revealed manner rather than in a concealed manner. Instead of just being kept alive despite your sin, you become a wellspring of life, a wellspring of energy and light to flow in a revealed manner through your limbs and through your organs. Instead of being a dead tree that's merely kept alive despite its sins, you become an ever-flowing tree with leaves and flowers and fruits. That's the difference between the tree of knowledge and the tree of life. Don't live in the tree of knowledge consciousness. Don't walk around without a soul, like the living dead. You know those people who, there's a movie called The Walking Dead. Don't be like those people in The Walking Dead. You should walk with vitality. You should walk with your soul invested within your body, working through your limbs, working through your organs in order to serve God and in order to serve humanity, to give them a blessing the same way Moses did for the children of Israel in this week's Parsha. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that this was a little bit inspiring, new information, as well as relevant, at least to some degree, that will give us the inspiration we need to finish our tikkun and fulfill our mission for which we were created. And I appreciate everyone tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.